on the state of the Clemson offense. Hey, about me, I'm a writer, I'm a teacher. Some caveats. I am not a football coach, nor have I ever been a football coach. Equally, another caveat based off this footage I'm about to show you, there are good things happening. This is more of a highlight of the bad things that seem to be happening with Clemson's offense. And I just needed to get it off my chest more than anything, and I think there are some insights here that you might find interesting. But there are good things happening, particularly the quarterback's performance rises and falls, and I didn't include a lot of extreme positives, but there are positives, and there's a ton of positives from last season's tape, obviously, considering all the preseason expectations. If you haven't been following, Clemson's offense has been a bit of a dumpster fire to open the 2025-2026 college football year, and I just wanted to talk about it. There's a really cool metric and website called Data Golf, which measures strokes gained data, and that's how professional golfers are sort of ranked, is through strokes gained. And they have a metric on their website that's called great shots versus awful shots. And what that means is great shots earn you a lot of strokes compared to the average player, and awful shots do the opposite, obviously. This Clemson offense is filled with awful shots in comparison to something like Data Golf, and it's my hope to show that to you today. We're going to go play by play, but if you're already curious, my take, my thesis, there's so many guys making a mistake that it doesn't really matter about the play calling. So far, the play calling under Garrett Riley, I think, is totally fine to open the year. I think some other adults may need to be held accountable, which we can talk about at the end. And good God, if you're a betting human, I would not touch this Clemson team with any money whatsoever based off the footage I'm about to show you. But let's start going through it play by play. It's a bunch of footage from the LSU and Troy game. So let's start here. All right, so this opening play, we're bringing a kind of a safety pressure. And this turns out to be a nice play by Cade Klubnik. It's the one that gets everybody fired up. This is the second quarter. Weeks is sort of put in a blender. But just to go back, show you a few things here. One is right now. This is probably the hot, but you can see Klubnik's eyes. He's definitely watching these safeties. He's peeking over Perkins, this linebacker here. He's peeking over his eyes. And we're going to watch Bryant Wesco, number 12, faking out, and here comes the post. Boy, oh boy, is that open. Right here. This ball is right here. This is open. So not only have we missed this as a potential option if you didn't like this, but my man is looking this down. He is staring this down. Now, we got a problem here. Blake Miller has had a bad rep, and that is because Elijah Thurman sort of passes him off, and this is really bad offensive line play. No idea how we've managed to let this happen here. But Klubnik, still looking it down, says, you know what, I can get out of here. Well done. Let's go make a play. We're not past the line of scrimmage yet. Look how open, and it's a little blurry, look how open Bryant Wesco is still down here. This is still wide open. And Klubnik makes a nice play here, right? Like, we can watch it in real time. Everything's fine here. There are missed opportunities, even on the good plays. All right, let's keep going. We'll show that one later. All right, so we get Tyler Brown out in motion. Here's a draw. This is early second half. Clemson has a ton of momentum right now in this game after two explosive plays, and they could go up 17-3 right here in this draw. Right now, Weeks and everyone's trained to let all the traffic flow backwards. Hey, let him come through, because then, boy, do we have space. And check this out. These safeties are clearing. This was run perfectly by Clemson, except for one guy, the left guard, who for some reason decides to cut left, let Weeks pop inside. And this is played very well by Weeks. Don't mishear me. This is a complete mistake, and it turned into a no-gainer. That's at least 10 yards. That would be 3 chunk plays in a row. Clemson is rolling to start the second half, and instead, we get nothing. Just really poor from the left guard there, unfortunately. And here we go. This is second down. This is the play immediately following. Blake Baker, LSU's DC, he's going to send some heat. He loves to send heat, exotic blitzes. Look, Clemson does a pretty decent job in a max protect, basically. We're going to keep the tight end in. Randall is ready to block at running back. And we're playing man up for LSU. LSU's going to have a numbers problem. They just brought a ton of players. Watch the tight end slip right here. Oh boy. Look at this. We know this is Klepnik's hot. Dabaswini himself confirmed it after the game. This is his hot. If pressure is coming, this will be open. What Clemson decides to do is roll, and I cut it about here. He throws a one-on-one ball to TJ Moore out here on the outside. It's a fine ball. It's not going to kill Clemson. He almost comes down with it. This is a 15 to 20-yard gain, maybe more. That's the play after the draw would have been a 10-yard gain. Let's go to the third down play. All right, another funky package. LSU backs off a little bit. They're spying with Perkins. All right, so the pressure is good. The pressure is not good from LSU because they don't bring that many players. And look at this pocket. Right now, is there any reason for Cade Klubnik to leave? Absolutely not. No, we're so safe right now. What does he do? Out of here. To give him some defense, he's enjoyed a lot of pressure. Enjoyed, maybe the wrong verb. He's had a lot of pressure in his face for much of this game, so he's a little jumpy. But this is a bad sign. So we've already seen some missed opportunities. We've seen some offensive line mishaps. And here, when the play should be open, we see the completely wrong decision to bail and bring pressure into the play. We speed up a situation that did not have to be sped up. All right, let's keep rolling here. This is the interception, I believe. All right, lots of fun things to look at here. All right, 1. LSU's going to bring 5. The cool thing about when you bring 5 is that your offensive line has 5. You got one-on-one matchups if the running back decides to go or you don't have a tight end come to chip. But still, you can man up here. And it should be generally what it looks like. It looks like mostly man everywhere else. There's an opportunity here to make LSU pay for bringing an extra guy, right? Okay. For some reason, Blake Miller decides, the right tackle for Clemson, decides to slide inside and double, even though for sure, if we look at this tape, he sees him and then leaves. Blake Miller, so far through the first 2 weeks, in my opinion, has been Clemson's best offensive lineman. I think he's a top 60 draft pick. This is a horrific rep. No idea what's happening here. Not sure how this could take place. But Blake Miller helps double inside, and so Klubnik is forced to feed up his process, and he's going to try and find this seam ball to Cole Turner, 22, and I don't hate it, because LSU's been crashing these digs and these slants all game, so we know Perkins wants to attack downhill, so maybe there's something here, and if not, Randall's probably open here on the left side, so we play it out, but there's pressure, it's causing him to float, and that ball floats on him. That ball floats, and that's purely from pressure because of Blake Miller's decision. I don't think it's the perfect ball by Klubnik, of course, but I think there's a play to be had here. And even if not, it's probably a dump off to Randall for 5 to 6 yards, and there's no danger. There's certainly not a turnover here. Can't happen. It's the offensive line, once again, a complete mishap. All right, here's that 4th down play from earlier. It's a drop. So, a few things here. 1, right here. Tristan Lee, 71, the left tackle, who didn't play much against Troy or played at all. This isn't a great rep. He's playing a good defensive end here. He took a really wide step, and so he's given up inside leverage so heavily. If he's half a yard to the right, then this pocket is really good, and that's because LSU only brought 3. When we're getting this pressure on a 3-man rush, guys, we're making it so hard on 2. And look, a lot of this film will show that 2 is having a hard time with decision making, but man, are we putting him in a tough spot. So 2 is going to try and feed the ball here on this slant. It's 4th down. You want to go to your playmakers. TJ Moore is one of your guys. I don't hate that decision. You can see this safety, though, is coming down, and Klubnik is looking right at him. There's no argument to be had. He is looking right down the barrel right now. And hey, look, every player's got his hips turned outside of Perkins, who's watching Randall. Everybody's watching Cade. There's so much pressure on this ball. And look, TJ Moore can maybe complete this catch, but it's tight. What I would love to see, and it would help if this was a better rep from 71, is say, whoa, this is crowded. What's our 2? What's our second read? Boom, it's right here. Zap is wide open. This is a 1st down. This is a great route. This is for sure going to spring open. This does not help this inside pressure. So once again, I think it's a two-pronged problem where, we're having issues up front, either schematically or just straight up with our play, and then that causes decision-making problems for the quarterback. That seems to be the case. And honestly, if we're checking over here, Harold Perkins is a freak at linebacker, of course. Randall might beat him straight line. If you want to hold up, there's a chance that Randall's going to make a play down here if you want to go there. I don't love it on fourth down, but it's not impossible. More of the same. This is trying to tie the game. So this is an important moment in the game, of course. Let's see what we do. All right. Pressure. Whoa. Look at him coming. Even Perkins is coming. Right? We're trying to force another slant to Wesco. We love these slants. But look how hard LSU's playing this. What's really interesting is, look at this. Tyler Brown's wide open. Dabo Swinney talked about it after the game. If this is not a touchdown, it's very close to one. And you got a chance to go win the game in overtime. This ball is wide open. It's another case where Cade sees, it's a 50-50 ball. And you know what? Because those receivers are so talented, they make a lot of these plays. But against LSU, against Texas, against SMU, against South Carolina, teams they struggled with last year, they weren't making these plays. And that's because those teams are talented. This is a scenario where we've got to go to our second read. This is open. Tyler Brown is open here. And if that means Tyler Brown's got to slide inside, they can get this ball completed to 6, and he's at least getting this first down. Instead, now we're going to fourth down, still trying to tie the game. And here we go. Still more heat. LSU's really smart. They're going to have Perkins spy. The only thing wrong here is look how early Cade has decided to go. This pocket's not dead yet. Now, it's dying. Don't mishear me. And much of that has to do with the offensive line play right here. Let's watch a few things here. Sorry, I'm trying to slide it back. Here we go. 53, your center, Ryan Linthicum. Here we go. In this rep, 53 picks up not a soul. Not one. I don't know what we're coached to do in this situation. Randall kind of buries behind Linthicum's left shoulder, trying to help. We don't impact the play positively at all. And this guy who's bringing the most pressure slides right past 53's shoulder, and nothing happens. I don't understand how this takes place. So one, I think Klubnik bails early. But two, this pocket could have lived a lot longer. I don't know what's generating downfield at this angle, but we're giving nothing a chance right now. And that has nothing to do with the wide receiver play. It has everything to do with the offensive line play, and particularly a sort of softness and an inability to identify what is my role right now. And so the game ends right here because Klubnik's got nothing. He bails too early, but I don't blame him. His guys aren't doing their jobs great up front. That's a lot of reps on the passing game because there wasn't much from the running game against LSU. This film against Troy will have a little bit more of both. So let's start with a handoff. Hey, and this is fine. The only thing I notice here is if we're watching who comes over and makes this play. Sorry, let me take it back. We pull left guard and just pull this left guard. Oh, I remember what I didn't like. Here, watch this. It's 53 again, Linthicum. Right? So he's eyeing right here, this nose. All right? So he goes to block, and we're shredded down onto the ground. This is the first offensive play of the game. This guy causes some internal havoc because he's the one that makes the pressure go here. But my word, is this a bad rep? Just kind of handle it up front. Let's do the play right after. It's fine. Here's my gripe with this. We're going to bring Randall over, and we'll pause it right before the play starts. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus this edge defender. 1, 2, 3. I don't know about you, but I don't love when it's 3v3 on the outside. Or equally, I really don't love when it's 3v4, plus this DE can make a play pretty fast. And check out the room we got on the right side of the field. Boom, Tyler Brown. This is wide open. Now, I don't know what coach's leeway is going towards Klubnik after the way it looked in the LSU game, but man, you would hope you would allow him to look at that side and say, whoa, short side is crowded. We have numbers on the field side. Can we not immediately audible to this right here? Because that's the only reason Tyler Brown would be running this is that if it was built into the playbook. Otherwise, it would just be a clear out. So I don't know. I don't understand what's happening here, but this might be a first down. And if Tyler Brown makes this guy miss, it could be a house call. All right, 3rd and 5. Oh boy, this is dangerous in real time, and it's tough to watch right here. So a few things. One, this is a pretty decent pocket. It's not perfect, but it's pretty decent. Okay? A few things. I don't know if this is opening, but it's got a chance. This is wide open. Dear God, is Tyler Brown wide open. Now, I don't know what number he is in the progression. And TJ Moore is clearly number 1 because Cade is looking at it the entire rep. I mean, immediately he checks this nickel corner, and then he's like, okay, I like what I see. And you know what? You should, okay, Klubnik. Right now, ball's out. If this ball is out right now at the back of his drop, this is caught right here, and TJ Moore probably falls forward. If he breaks his tackle, it might be a house call, but this half-second delay nearly gets TJ Moore killed. Klubnik seems to be somewhere in between locked-in decisions with his progressions and indecision on when to throw the ball. This is a really nasty combo, an unfortunate combo for a guy that did not display a ton of this last year and did display a lot of it 2 years ago. And so we'll see. He looked much better in the second half of this game, much more decisive, but in a positive way, decisive in moving through his reads versus decisive in just throwing it to one spot. But we'll see. Clemson gets the ball back. Handoff here. This isn't a very good run, and that's because this immediate push through... This is a nice play by Troy. Don't mishear me. But 55, your left guard here, Mr. Sewell, has got a chance. He's got to step really fast to make this play, and he doesn't. He gets eaten up. Now, this is a great play by 14, crashing down. And he's always going to crash down. The only caveat being watching TJ Moore here and equally watching 64 and 50 completely block the same guy. So watch this. Here come 2 offensive linemen. There are 3 men here. Let's see how many guys they block. 1. I don't know what else to say outside of there is a tremendous problem with the mental decision-making of this team on offense. Whether it's a quarterback, or it's a running back going to pick up a block, or it's a tight end going to pick up a block, or if it's an offensive lineman going to pick up the block, through 2 weeks, it's horrifically bad. We're not making plays, and that's because guys seem truly unsure of what their job is. These are talented football players, 4 and 5 stars all over the place. So it's not an ability problem. I would argue it can't be an ability problem. But we keep having reps where they roll right past people and make no impact. Woof. All right. So this is the right read. Dear God, is it telegraphed? But it's a great pocket. Look at this pickup. This isn't a perfect rep here, but he's going to run him past. You can step up into this. And this is open. Look at this. This is open. Why is this ball not right here? Instead, TJ Moore is running kind of negative here and slowing down. He's slowed down. His arms are completely down. And now the ball's here. Too late. I have no idea what's going on between the communication of these 2 players. TJ Moore should be flying at full speed. He gets this ball in stride. He can allow him to turn upfield. Not sure what the issue is here, but it's pretty poor. All right, this is post-rain delay. Don't hate this ball. Don't hate this ball from Klubnik. It's nearly brought down by TJ Moore. I just want to take a closer look at it. One. Pressure just completely busted. This is open if he wants to try it. And equally, if there's a way to design a pressure or a contain that saves this, we're going to get a complete slip wide open for Randall here. But I do think this initial out might be open. But I don't hate this ball. I don't hate this ball. I think it should be thrown 5 yards deeper, ideally. But it's not an easy throw to make on the run. It's not a horrific rep, but I thought I'd include it because some people were talking about it online. All right, here's another one. 3rd and 2. They bring in Vizina, backup quarterback, to put him in a spot. Dabo Sweeney said that he wanted to put him in a spot that mattered because they think they're going to need him this year, which is fine. Your prerogative. If you're going to bring him in, hey, have your running back block who he's supposed to. So here's 19, Keith Adams. He's coming downhill, leading the way, right? He's playing fullback. He just runs past the guy that tackles him. Just right past him. He picks up that block. That's a first down. It's not a great play. It's barely a first down. But it's a complete whiff by 19. It's another example of guys seemingly having no clue who to block. Here we go. Let's have some pull. All right. This is not the worst handoff in the world. It's clunky. But if you notice, we got a guard that pulls right here and a tight end that pulls. And they pretty much block the same guy. Happens sometimes. Don't mishear me. It shouldn't be perfect every play. It's a lot of plays. Here we go. We got a 1st and 15. It's a handoff. This is not a terrible run either. The only problem here is not the offensive line, it's the guy playing running back. Look at all this space on the outside. He's even got a lead blocker in 74. Watch it. Watch it. Boom, right here. If he follows 74 into this block, I mean, if 22 can hold the outside, this is a huge gain. Gigantic. It's a fine gain. But there's a huge play to be had there that doesn't take place because Randall moving to running back maybe doesn't quite feel when to boost and when to hold up. Here we go. Haven't gone to the air in a while. Oh boy. Check that rep. That is a tough watch. All right, so this is really unfortunate. So 74, Braden Jacobs, one of the best offensive line prospects out of high school last year. Has drawn rave reviews from coaches so far. He's also massive. The biggest offensive lineman Clemson has for sure. Seemingly has a chance to be an NFL-type player just based off his size alone. All right, this is a really big wide step. Probably too big. And it's certainly going to encourage this edge rusher to float inside. That's fine. What are we doing here at 50? What's our contribution to this play? Because we're going to come in late, and we're actually going to contribute to the sack. Not poorly meaning, trying to help, of course, but certainly making things actually worse. So that's two things. One, why is 74 dropping so wide? Is he coached to drop that wide? Or is that a misplay? Because if he's sitting here, then this pocket is perfect. I got no idea what we're doing downfield because, I mean, this is clearly open. Cade seemingly wants to attack the middle of the field here. But my word, is this a disaster of a rep between the big step, the big wide step, and then the left guard seemingly having uncertainty on what his job is. Do I help Jacobs? Do I stay in the middle? I'm going to come help late. I'm going to make things worse. Nasty. And look, this is going to be open here too. EZ is going to be open. All right, only a few more. All right, still second quarter. Woof. All right, a couple things here. One, you can see where Mr. Klubnik wants to go with the ball. He clearly wants this out route. And you know what? It's a good decision because this is open, but also, my God, is Bryant Wesco wide open? Look at this safety. Look at him coming to crash down. Troy completely mishandles this pass off. And unfortunately, if we go back about a second, look where Kate Klubnik's eyes are. Boom, boom, boom. He wants his out route. But if he stays here just a tick longer, one, just unleash this ball right now. If this ball's right here, it's going to be tight, but this is a catch. This is open. Even if it's out immediately right now, this is a catch. But if he waits, and if he pump fakes, which he does, boy, we got something down here with Wesco. And look, Wesco's like immediately like I'm wide open. Okay. Either way, I don't mind this from Klubnik. I think it's a mistake, but we're going to make something out of this mistake. Hey, 87's open. Kind of a physical release here, but he's open. The problem here is 24. 24 is running an out route from the backfield, as you can see. Look at him turn upfield. Maybe played a lot of Madden growing up, wanting to get downfield, score a touchdown. If he stays around the 40-yard line, which is where he's supposed to be, even like the 36, 37, this defender is stuck in high-low land, and Bintiker is open. This is a first down. Even still, this ball is catchable. So many mistakes. Endless mistakes. That's a young running back, but those are just stacking mistakes on top of each other. Oh boy, this is a bad rep from your senior quarterback, effectively. All right, running mesh. That's fine. This ball's open right now. It's gotta be right now. He's late. He's late. He's late. Still late. Throw it. Throw it. Throw it. And now we're getting him killed. This is a complete bailout that Clemson ends up getting any points on this drive. It's a death throw. It's a hospital ball. He threw a couple of these in this game. That can't continue to happen, particularly against talented defenses. He's going to get people really injured. Here's a handoff. Pretty decent play. Just going to go ahead and add. Same thing here. I don't fully hate what 55's doing right here. It's just another rep where Clemson offensive lineman doesn't touch anybody. And it's kind of a tweener rep. But man, if we seal right here, Davidson might go house. All right, and last one. One of the grossest ones for sure. Just watch the left side of this offensive line. Nope. Just bailed. Just out of there. Just to show that to you again in a slower motion. Just running a little outside zone. Both of them. Completely cleared. The guy comes through. Nothing. This is unbelievable. And I don't have a great answer for it. That's all the tape I have. If you're curious, my thoughts, my true feelings, Matt Luke has been a revelation as far as recruiting for Clemson's offensive line. The play is despondently bad through the first 2 weeks, and it wasn't very good against Texas or SMU or South Carolina. I don't know what the problem is on why that's happening, but the offensive line is playing very poor. There's really no excuse. There's talent all over that unit. I think 53 at center physically has some challenges, but outside of him, the play should be more than good enough based off a talent standpoint. I think Clemson has a lot of work to do up front, and the only difference between this year and last year is that Cade Klubnik was making up for it with really excellent reads and really excellent play. And unfortunately, he's been the worst version of himself in a lot of games. So if you're Clemson, it's an immediate accountability check on, hey, how in the world do we run the ball? And how do we start to figure out who's assigned to who? Whether it's in a pass rush or whether it's in a run scheme, how do we know who to block? Because right now, Clemson seems completely clueless on who to block. Add that in with some play where they've blocked the right guy, but they've taken too wide of a step. They have too many reps that go against them, and then throw on top a quarterback who seems completely unsure. It's a nasty recipe, and it's pretty jarring for a quarterback and an offensive line of this experience together to be struggling to this degree, but it's where we are. I do think some adults need to be held accountable, and what I mean by that is some questions directly towards Matt Luke and Garrett Riley in particular. And the questions would be something along the lines of, Matt Luke, what is the problem? Is it youth? Is it talent? Why are we having a hard time putting hats on hats? The minimum thing you should be able to do is identify where to go and who to block. Clemson can't seem to handle this. They couldn't handle it at the end of last year. This is extremely problematic and bodes very poorly for their ability to do anything on offense. And then for Garrett Riley, I think the question would be, hey, what's going on with Klubnik's decision-making? It seems to have regressed. And overall, as an offensive product, what steps are you taking to ensure things change up front? Because it starts up front. This offensive line is absolutely crushing their chances right now of playing great offense. And so I think they got a lot of work to do. And to me, I would be very concerned if you're a Clemson fan on how this gets fixed particularly quickly. But they've been really good for a long time, so maybe they get it figured out.